All right, so here's my like initial sketch. And just to give you an idea of how much of the page I'm using and whether or not I'm using the quote unquote sweet spot, remember that it's right here. So, anything outside of this zone is going to look a little bit funky. So stay in that zone. Um, so I've got, a really nice block in here. And this would be a time to maybe do a draw over. So if you're working on a tablet, you would you would add a new layer. But for those of you working with traditional media, you would just put a piece of paper over it and then trace the parts you want to keep, and you would not trace the parts you don't want to keep, and you can embellish. Like you're not just doing a perfect tracing. And I'm actually going to get rid of layer one. Um, you are doing like it's a continuation of your process. Um, it's it's called literally called draftsmanship, which like think of English. You're working on your rough draft. Okay, if you're a drafts person, doesn't have to be a man or woman. Uh, you are working through stages of ideas. You're comfortable with the idea of drafts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my brush and I'm going to use a tighter line, a little less sketchy, and I'm going to try to bring this to a little bit closer to a finish. But this is still a sketch. It's still exploratory. So we're not like, you know, putting ourselves through all that worry of trying to have something, ready for the gallery. All right, so here is my final composition. Remember that you always have the option to change, well, I think the sketchy lines I kind of want to keep, but you always have the option to embellish by adding a light source. So as long as I've got, my space is blacked out here, let's see what happens. Oh, that one didn't work. Yeah, so there you go. Once again, adding a light source, really great way to, change the tone of your drawing. And you could even do one light and one dark. And the reason this works is because the law of light that this applies to is different value, different surface, different plane. So each surface catches light differently and based on its angle. So these darker areas would probably not be catching any light. The light source would probably be high and behind. Actually high and over here because the roofs are catching some of it. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy working on this.